Want to make money on these sports cards on eBay or other platforms? Here's what you need to know. What's up, you guys? This is Chris, aka Thrift BCQ, and this video is dedicated to all you resellers out there that want to learn how to sell these bad boys. Now, it all started when I got a message from one of my subscribers, and he asked me, I want to learn how to sell cards, and I just want to know what things I need to know in order for me to do it and start up, because it's honestly it's not easy. Just because when you do start getting into them, it can get a little bit addicting. Now, first off, there's two things you can either do with your sports cards in terms of reselling. The first thing is reselling a whole box, and I mean, that's pretty straightforward. You can try to find this box, look it up on eBay, find the comps, and that's what it goes for specifically. Now, the number two thing is going into each box, going into the packs, and hoping you can score that one gem. This one I'm going to focus more on basketball just because I'm more familiar with it. It could be similar, it could be different to, say, football or baseball or hockey. So, I mean, just take this with a grain of salt. And also, just as a disclaimer as well, if you decide to look into this as an option of going into each pack and trying to find that card you're looking for, it's not always going to happen. You're not always going to get the card that you're looking for in any pack every single time. I've had a lot of experience where I've gotten boxes like this and there was nothing good in it. So just keep that in mind, because I don't want you to have this notion that every single box is going to have one amazing card. It's not going to happen all the time. So just be aware of it. And if this is something that you do still want to do, then let's move forward and I'll show you exactly what we're going to do. Now, in this video, I'm going to be going over two categories. I'm going to go over the different terms that are being thrown around in the card collecting community, as well as the market out there. The second thing I'm going to be covering is the equipment that you're probably going to need when you're collecting it, as well as how you're going to sell it how you're going to prepare the cards when you're going to resell it, or if you're going to take it for grading, but that's a whole other thing. So the only thing I'm probably not going to cover here is what cards to look out for. This is strictly for if you really want to learn how to start reselling on cards. Then this is just going to give you a good start to understand the whole process and just the terms as well, so that you can just start right away. Now, before I go ahead and get started, don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And also don't forget to hit the bell so that you know when another fire video is coming out. Alright guys, so let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to be covering basketball just because that's all I've been collecting mainly, and also what I've been reselling as well. So a lot of the terminology you're going to hear is from basketball specifically. It could be different with like hockey or other sports like that. So this one is specifically for basketball. So again, take it with a grain of salt. But we'll start off here. I have 3 boxes here, and these are the different kinds of boxes that you can find at retail stores. There's another box that you can also find, which is called a mega box, and that's the biggest one you can find in your card section of your retail store, whether it be at Walmart or Target. So the first one I'm going to cover here is it's a multi-pack. So this is Panini Mosaic. Panini is pretty much the company that creates all the cards for basketball, so keep that in mind. There's different subsets or different brands within the Panini brand of basketball cards. So this one specifically is Mosaic. You have this one, which is Panini Prism, and then you also have like Optic, Contenders, Hoops. Those are other brands within the Panini family. So again, so this is first off, this is the multi-pack. The reason why it's called a multi-pack is because there are more than, if you look closely, there is more than one pack in each big bag. So that's the reason why it's called multi-pack. There are other ones that are called fat packs as well. And fat packs are used, the term is used because it's just one plastic bag here, or I don't know, packaging, and it's got a whole stack of cards inside that one package. So that's why it's called a fat pack. So you'll see typically, I don't know, like 30 cards in one pack. That's the term used for that specific type of pack. Also, this is probably the cheapest one you can find with the packs. This one goes for about roughly $15-16 Canadian. So that's probably around, I don't know, $9-11 US. All right, and the next box is, this is called a hanger box, and this one has about 20 cards in it. Again, depending on the brand, like for example Hoops, it could have a bit more just because it is a lower tier of the Panini brand. But this one has 20, and this one is called a hanger box simply because you see this thing right here, it hangs. It's supposed to hang on like one of the walls, so that's the reason why it's called a hanger box. This one has its own set of, like, it'll have the same cards, but there are certain cards that are specific to hanger boxes that you can find potentially. But other than that, it's pretty much the same thing. But this one can probably go for about, I'd say $20 and $25 for the hanger box. That's Canadian. All right, and the other one that I have here is the blaster box. These are the ones that I typically pick up. They go for about $30 to $31 here in Canada, which is roughly around, I don't know, $19, $20 in the US probably. But this one has more than those, the hanger box and the fat pack or multi-pack. This one has 32 cards in total. Again, depending on the brand that you get, it could have a different number. So this one here, like this one has 6 packs and it's got 4 cards in each pack for the Prism. This one has 8 packs and it's got 4 cards in each pack. So like let me get another. Okay, so here's another lower tier one. This is Panini Donruss. This one has 88 cards per box, so it's roughly the same price, but you get way more cards in these, and so the likelihood of finding like the card that you're looking for, you're likely gonna get it. So this one, for example, you'll probably find the, I think it's like Ja Morant or Zion Williamson. So those are the two that I think are the main ones because they are on the front of the box or the side of the box. Okay, so just as a reference, what I would suggest is when you do buy one, I would suggest keeping one of the boxes, just because in the actual back of the box, it explains to you exactly the types of parallels or prisms that you may get. So the parallel itself will be similar in design to the base card, and base card is the card that you would typically see in a pack of cards, and they all are generally the same design. So for example, these are Panini Donruss cards here, and you can see they have the same border, they have the same stripe here. So these are called base cards of these specific players. So I got Trae Young here, and I have Fred VanVleet, go Raptors. But if you want to get a parallel, take a look at this one. This is Clint Capella. But if you take a look at the color distinction here. It's got yellow, it's got green, but it's still technically the same type of design. It still has the border over here, or like the line over here, and it's very similar, just other than the very metallic borders over here. So, or this is basically a parallel compared to these ones. These are base cards. Now, again, each individual brand or box are different. They have different types of parallels. So what I would suggest is when you do get a box, take a look at the back again. They give you a list of all the different parallels that they have. Definitely need to do your research too with what parallel is what. But at least this gives you a list of what each parallel is. Okay, so let's take a look at one of the other sides here. It's mentioning look for scripts and rookie scripts autographs. So that's basically Panini Mosaic's terminology for autographs. Another thing that you would probably hear as well is auto. So, for example, I have a Trae Young auto, and that just means that there is an autograph on the card. It could be on either a piece of tape, or it would be on the card itself. So that's how you would generally see the autographs, and those are generally the ones that they're probably as good as it gets. If you manage to find a rookie with their autograph, that's probably the best you can probably do with finding that card of that specific player. That's always one, like, they're rare though, that's the thing. So you generally won't find them in blasters or the hanger boxes or let's say the fat packs or the multi packs. Those are generally found, I would say, more in, say, hobby boxes. Now, hobby boxes are generally the boxes that are used or found at like the stores that are specifically selling cards. So like any hobby stores that sell all the different sports, they have their own set of boxes. They're a lot bigger. They're definitely more expensive, and they generally will have a guaranteed one autograph in your box. But you're going to be paying probably around $500-600 for one box. But you have that ability to get a guaranteed autograph each time. So that's what it has going for it. And let's say you hit that rookie that you're looking for with an autograph, that could potentially pay for your box. So that's how much it really goes for, and like that's how much they can potentially make you, unless you decide to grade it or something, but that's a whole other thing again. Now if we turn this side over to the other side, it's mentioning here 4 mosaic prisms. And so obviously mosaic is the name of this specific box, but prisms is the term used from Panini specifically. They use that term as one of the names for the parallel cards. It's called a prism, but they also use it as one of their actual boxes, Panini Prism. In my opinion, this is probably the best one to get. I'm pretty sure if you resold this, it's like over, I don't know, over $100. The thing is that this is generally the one that is the staple or the standard for being the absolute highest tier for retail boxes. This one, I'm not too sure exactly where it stands. It could be just under Optic maybe, but again, I'm not too familiar with the levels of Mosaic specifically. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly go in alphabetical order of different terms that you're going to hear. Now the other term you're probably going to hear is the word Beckett, which is the name of a publisher for sports card magazines. But they also have a grading system as well called BGS, Beckett Grading Services, and you can bring your cards into them. Like if you want to get an autograph graded, you can bring it to them and they can grade it for you out of 10. And depending on what it is, the higher the grade, the more expensive it'll be worth. Now the next term you're going to hear is box break, and that's just the term that you'll see these in like other videos as well on YouTube of box breaks, and this is generally when someone takes the box and they start opening it up just to see what the contents are inside. The next term I'm using is the word cello or cello. One of those, I think it's cello, just because these ones are known as cello as well, because I guess it's short for cellophane, the way these are packed in. So yeah, you're gonna see some listings on, let's say, eBay for example, and you're gonna see cello packs. So just know that's just the name of this type of pack. Now a term that's probably going to be thrown around as well is common. And common is the term that's used for like cards that you would generally see and the cards that you generally don't need. So you'll get your parallels, you'll get your rookies, but then you'll also get your commons. So like again, Andre Drummond, this is this year. So like I don't know, he's been in the league for quite some time now. This is not worth that much. These are not worth that much, so a lot of the time these get swept away out in the side. So we don't look out for these unless it's a significant player and it has some significance to you, or maybe you're trying to look at collecting a specific team. These are just defined as common cards. All right, I'll go through some of the definitions that are being thrown in terms of conditions of cards. So you'll see M or mint. There'll be NM or near mint, near mint. There's EX, excellent, very good, good, fair, and poor. Now, usually when I collect my cards or take them out of the packs, I'll put them in the plastic penny sleeve, and then I would put them in a top loader right after. So I'll show you exactly what those things are, so that you have an idea of what the penny sleeves and the top loaders look like. Alright, the next term I'm going to use is called foil pack. And the foil pack term is used for, if you take a look at each individual pack, those are actually foil packs. So whatever, it used to be wax paper, so that's why you always saw those ones with the gum and stuff. That was back in the 90s, but then they later moved to foil packs instead of the wax. Now the next term I'm going to use is a graded card. Now graded cards are used for if you did take your card that you think that is a very valuable card and you decided to get it graded. Now there are two main ones I'd say that you would want to go to get it graded at. One being PSA, which stands for Professional Sports Authenticators. The other one is Beckett, which is that Beckett grading service. Beckett, I think, probably grades a bit harder than PSA, but those are the two standard ones that you would want to get it graded on. Let's say like Gary Vee does a lot of card collecting, and a lot of the cards that he get are from PSA. Again, graded cards will command more money in the market just because it was authenticated, and to go through that process it does cost money. I don't know exactly how much, but it does just to get it graded. So just keep that in mind. I'll put a picture of what a graded card looks like. I'll do one for Beckett and I'll do one for PSA so that you can see what they look like specifically. Now another term I always hear is the word hit. So the word hit is used for when you're opening a pack of cards and let's say, oh man, I got my Zion autograph. You just got a hit. So that's what the term hit is used for when you're opening cards. You potentially found a valuable card. Okay, so the next term I'm going to use is the word insert. Now the insert cards are the ones that you would generally see that are they're not base cards, they're not parallel cards to the base. They have their own name and they have their own set of number cards to them. So I'll show you an example of a of a base card and as well as an insert card. So for example, this is a rookie of an optic card, Goga Bitadze. Gosh, I don't want to butcher his name, but if you look at this card, it has like the regular white border and everything, rated rookie, the name, and then if you take a look at this one, it's called My House. It's also part of the optic brand, but it has its own like theme to it. It has its own coloring and design, but it's called My House. Like if you take a look at the back, this is the regular backing of the rated rookie card, and then this is the My House one. So it has the full green for the team, and then it also has its own number as well, number 11 on this card. So again, this is a very different type of like kind of like a variant or like a chase card you would see in a pack of cards. All right, the next term I'm going to use is a jersey card. This can be found in your blaster boxes. Sometimes when you are looking, sometimes if you take a look at the actual blaster box, it'll say either it may come with either an autograph or a memorabilia card. Now the memorabilia card potentially could be someone's shorts or someone's jersey. So I'll show you one example here. This is Evan Turner, and if you take a look, it's got a square patch right here, and it could have been from the shirt, it could have been from the shorts, I'm not too sure exactly, but this is just another type of card that you can potentially get. It's a really thick card because it's got to fit that patch, but yeah, these are you could potentially just get one of these in a pack or in a box, sorry, but yeah, just keep that in mind when you're looking at these boxes. It could potentially come with one of these. I don't think the Mosaic one comes with this. This is Panini Prism. It does have one of these. And I think Hoops or Panini Donruss may have these as well. It may have this patch type of thing. And also some cards as well, they have the patch and an autograph. And that's one of the best ones you can find too. Now, I forgot to mention, because I'm using basketball as the main example, that's something that you would mainly see with like basketball memorabilia cards. It could potentially be a ball too, like a piece of the ball. With like, for example, baseball, it could be potentially a piece of the bat. So, I mean, it could potentially be other things. So I just wanted to keep that in mind. It's not, a memorabilia is not necessarily just jersey. Alright, so the next term I'm going to throw around is the word numbered card. This is a term that's used for a print of a card it's basically a short printed. There's only a certain number of cards of that specific magnitude that were printed out. And so, although you'll see a regular, like I'll show you an example here. So this is LeBron James's card here. It's one of the optic ones I pulled out. It's a Prism. And this is a numbered card. So you'll see here there's a number 14, but if you actually look down here, this is numbered as well. Oh, it's over here, sorry. This is 112 of 149. So having a number as well will also increase the value of the actual card as well. Because it's such a short print, there's only 149 made of these cards. And so that's again, that's another plus to have when you're, especially if you have a significant player like LeBron. And so keep that in mind when you do see a numbered card out of something. That's a very good thing to have when you're looking at reselling at something like this. So also take a look and make sure that you have it noted when you're searching for things, that it's numbered. Now there's another term I want to throw out there for rookies specifically. There are certain brands that have their own terminology for rookie. So for example, Optic and Donruss, they have rated rookies. And you can see here on the left here, or my right, your left, that has the word rated rookie to let you know that it's a rookie card. This one here is Hoops, and generally you'll see this with other brands as well, but there's a logo here as well. There, if you can see right there, it says RC, and that lets you know that it's a rookie card. So whenever you see that logo, just keep that in mind that it's a rookie. It's their first year, so if that player decides to blow up and you have a rookie card, take a look and see, maybe down the road if you wanted to keep it, it'll be worth maybe a bit more. I'm not too sure, but just keep that in mind in terms of rookies. Alright, the next term I'm going to use on you is the word variant. So the variant is can be defined as, let's say there's a Kobe White over here, okay? So let's say there is another Kobe White you can find with a white jersey instead of the red jersey. So that would be known as a variant of this player. Now it doesn't necessarily have to be the jersey. It could be the pose that they're doing. It could be the look that they have. I don't know, but that's just another term that is used for those other things. For the terms, I think that's it for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two of the things that I have with me at all times when I am opening these cards, so that you can keep it protected as soon as you get them, or as soon as you find that hit that you're looking for. So I have two things that I always carry with me. I'll leave these in the description if you want to grab some. I get these off Amazon, and you can find them at Walmart or Target as well. But these are, the first one here is the penny sleeves by Ultra Pro. These are really important to have for to protect your card. So they're just flimsy plastic sleeves, but I mean, it's so key to have them. As soon as you get it, you're protecting it right away. So you're putting it in here and it's protected. Now, obviously, you can still crush it or something and it could still bend and stuff, right? So that's when you start wanting to get something like a top loader. Now, top loader is the term that's used for those hard plastics that you see. So I'll show you the top loader over here. So these are the really thick ones here. I'll show you one over here real quick. Get out! Okay. Alright, so this is a top loader. See, it's really thick plastic. That's going to help you protect it a lot more. So when you have your sleeved card, what you want to do is you want to put it into a top loader, because that will maximize the protection of the card. There you go, it's in there. Now let's say, for example, you want to push it further down and you don't have the fingers or the nails to do it. What you can do is you can let gravity take do its thing. You can sometimes bang it on like a table just for lightly, not too hard. But if you bang it down, it'll bring the card down. If you see here now, if you want to do it where it comes up, you do not want to put your fingers in, or else it's gonna bend the card. I guarantee you that. So sometimes you can do this thing where I slap my wrist and like try to cup it like that. So if I do that, sometimes it'll come out like that. See? Comes out. So that's one way I do it, just to have gravity do its thing, so that you can try not to apply as much pressure as you can to the card. You want to make sure that it's as safe as possible and no bends or anything happen to the card. So again, when you get your card, sleeve it and then put it in a top loader. One of my videos that I had, I showed you how you can pack them. I usually put 2 thick pieces of cardboard and I sandwich it together, and I put tape around so that it doesn't move around, and then you can put that in like a bubble mailer, or if you want to, I'm not too sure how much the card is worth, but you can put it in a regular envelope, get stamps. It'll be a lot cheaper, but you won't have any tracking or anything. I usually put them in a really small padded envelope, because at least, even though it's a bit bigger and I'm paying like, I don't know, $7-8 more, I'm still getting insurance, and I'm getting I'm getting a tracking number as well. Because if it's an expensive card, you want to make sure it's as protected as possible. So again, that's just me, but again, always have your cards protected, because it's really important. You don't want them to be exposed to the elements as well. Now, when you're ready to start reselling your cards, again, definitely look at the comps on them. Go on your eBay app, take a look at the sold completed, see what they go for. They'll get a nice range of, maybe you can put it on the higher end and then start from there. And then also, just make sure when you're taking photos you have good lighting. Sometimes the reflection of light can bounce off these top loaders, so it's important for you to make sure that you have the right lighting and that it's positioned correctly. Alright, so there you have it. Those are some of the terms you need to know in terms of reselling sports cards, as well as the things that you would probably need just to get started in terms of equipment. Again, I'll leave those items in the description below. But again, they're also available in probably your local hobby store, as well as Walmart and Target. You may be able to find some as well. And again, this is just as a starting out. I'm not telling you there are other like containers that you can hold cards in. Like, for example, this is a really thick card, right? So generally, I don't think you'd be able to fit this in a top loader. They have specialty containers where you can either it's like a magnet one that closes that together, and it's a really big container. And also they have ones for screws as well. So those ones, maybe you would be able to find it maybe on like an Amazon or a hobby store. I don't think you may be able to find those in like a Walmart or a Target. But keeping this in mind when you're using when you do get these types of cards, if you do want to use a penny sleeve to put them in, they won't fit regularly. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to cut a piece of the penny sleeve, like let's say cut a slit over here, and you should be able to fit the card in after that. So again, that's pretty much it. I'm really not an expert, but I wanted to start learning how to sell as much as I can as a non-expert. So hopefully this helped in some way for you to get started on your journey of reselling sports cards. Again, with basketball, this is what I'm aware of. It could be different with other sports. So again, take it with a grain of salt. Do your research in terms of the terms that they use for baseball or football or hockey. But yeah, again, thank you guys again. If you like this video and you want to see more of these types of videos, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And also, if you have any questions, or if you think I left anything out as well, please leave a comment below. I'm all for learning. If I am missing anything, I am pretty sure I may have. So leave a comment below, though. I really appreciate it if you did. And also, I'm probably going to be ripping more of these cards, because I'm getting a whole bunch of these mosaics coming in soon. So I'm so pumped for that, because I want to dig into them. Hopefully I can get myself a Zion or a John Morant, and we'll see how it goes, though. Fingers crossed, can't have high expectations, but we'll see how it goes. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. This is Thrift PCQ signing out. Peace out, guys.